Right, we're back for part 2 of the Lafayette HA-600 communications receiver. We will have a little look inside at the back. The case has been removed, exposing quite a lot of space not used, but what space is used, it is compacted in quite tight. Now, first of all, show the two control knobs at the front. You've got your main tuning and your band spread. Now, it's nice to note that as you turn these, they're very easy to turn and they're weighted. Look at the back, there's a blooming great weight on the back, and that allows you to get a nice smooth movement quickly. As you can see, by doing that, you're moving the pulley round, which is moving the pointer along. Now your band spread is the one below, and that's also got a weight, and that one's going round now. They're both weighted, so that's the idea, so you can flick it round and it's nice and smooth and you can get to where you want to get to fairly fast. Now I tilt this over without dropping it on the floor. I'll have to hold it. Let's see if I can do that. What I've done, I've stood it on its end. I don't know if it's made it clear. Yeah, I can do the back. The terminations at the back. You have a 0.7 amp fuse. You've got your mains lead going in. You've got ground 8 ohms. This is the wire that goes off to your speaker. 8 ohm speaker. You've got a phoner there for it if you were going to connect it to a tape recorder. That switch alters the intensity of the actual dial lights. And the M1, you have your aerial or antenna and earth ground. I know it's upside down, I apologise. Antenna and ground. I haven't connected the ground, but it's there. Now moving this back, you've got your board there. That's a printed circuit board, which is the receiver part. It's a super heterodyne. You've got your IFTs, the intermediate frequency transformers, the oscillator coil, your transformers, capacitors, transistors, all the things you'd expect to find. You even see the track. It looks like a double-sided track where the copper bits that are left that are used for conducting are on top and at bottom. And it's also nice because it even tells you the actual capacitors. That's C44, C45. So if you have a circuit diagram or schematic, which I haven't got for this one, you could easily find where all the components are. And this is nicely screwed onto the chassis. You can't see the underside because it's all closed up at the back, so you won't be able to see that. You've got a couple of transistors there. They're your power transistors. They're possibly for the output sound, I would think. There's a Hitachi 2SB337, and the number will often be just listed as B337. It's understood that it's 2S is in front of it, so if you want to find a particular transistor and it is a Japanese one, often the 2S is not there. You just got the, I think it's A, B and C, 2SA, 2SB and 2SC. and that's what you normally get. Right, coming away from that, you have your smoothing capacitor. You've got two capacitors within the same can. They're both 1000 microfarad at 25 volts. Sometimes they date these, but that one doesn't seem to be dated. Next to it you have your mains transformer. You've got your 220 volts going in, and you've got various tapped voltages which are coming off. And see, for that one, it's obviously just made for 220 volts. On the American version, the transformer there would presumably have 120 volts instead of the 220. So this could only be used over here. The other thing you see there looks like a transformer, but it's only got one winding, so it's a choke. It's a choke for smoothing purposes. Right, look at that. Now, as you can see, everything's lit up. That is the little bulb that lights up your S meter. And the dial lights are these two each side of the dial. You've got one there and you've got one the other end. And they're just small, I'd imagine 6-volt bulbs, small bayonet cap. They look like the original bulbs. And to finish up, show you the two tuning capacitors and how they make they do a fine and coarse. Now the one I'm operating now is the main tuning. This is your main tuner which you'd use to get to a station. Once you've found the station, or once you've set it on to one of those letters to band spread, you go over to the other one, which is the bottom dial, and see if it's actually moving. Yes. It's a much coarser capacitor, whereas this one, the vanes are very, very close, a normal tuning capacitor which any radio would have. But on communications receiver you've got band spread, and all they do is to connect across the terminals being used on that. You connect this one across it, which then gives you a greater variation, and it's much finer, so you can get to a very fine tuning. That, I think, has more or less covered it. I hope I haven't sent you all asleep. By the way, I picked this up at no prizes for guessing where. Wimbledon boot sale. So you know, this is one of the reasons why I really like going there, and it's in full working condition. Once again, thanks for looking. Any questions, please ask. If I know the answer, I will try and get it back to you. If I don't know the answer, well, you know, which is highly likely. Anyhow, once again, thanks for looking, and thank you again. Okay, thank you.